least I think we are. So, okay, sorry about the delay. We've had a couple of technical issues during their setup here. And just to let you know, if you see me moving weird with this shoulder, it's because I dislocated it. And every once in a while, I might yell out in pain. Welcoming Jessy Meadows to the studio.
Hello, everybody.
She is part of our group, and she is part of the show. And this show is actually brought to you by her and by Rolling Hills Productions, which is a production company here out here in Las Vegas. So we're gonna start our. This is our theme music, which is actually an instrumental version of a song called "Auto Genocide" by Icy Tens. So we're gonna do this official and let the song play a little bit while we get organized. And I need to share this on a couple of pages, so bear with me, and we'll start talking here in just a couple of seconds. Also, you could do us a favor and share this. That would be great, because that will help us get a lot of views. I've got like 7 friends on Facebook, so. It's hard to share into a group. I don't know if anybody knows that. Like on Facebook, why do they make things so difficult? Like, oh, it's so annoying. Okay. There we go. Eventually, I hope to have like all these interns and stuff so that we can pay people to do that. That'd be nice. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I am Frankie Almost, and this, as I said, is Jessy Meadows. It still is. I just said was Jessy Meadows. This was
Hopefully
Jessy Meadows.
I am still Jessy Meadows.
And we are live from Las Vegas right now, and we're running late in our broadcast for several reasons, because we had a couple of catastrophes. Like, I'm surprised we're even sitting in front of the camera right now.
Yeah.
But we are, lo and behold, we are here. One of the other things that we had to do was Jessy had to eat. And why is it that you had to eat at precisely 6 p.m., Jess?
That would be the diet. It's kind of along the lines of the ketogenic diet, but I'm doing a vegan version because I'm vegan, and I actually intend to stay raw vegan, but right now I'm eating tofu. Well, I mean, tofu's never raw, but yeah, this is pretty boring, sorry. But yeah, so I'm doing a keto version of vegan keto diet. There we go.
Right.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah. So both of us are actually dieting, which is funny because this camera that we're using right now like squatches us and stretches us. So we're both like looked at each other and we're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, do I look like that? Please tell me I don't.
The fattest creature on the planet. But anyway, so we're just gonna roll with it and just roll with it. Get it?
Yeah.
Fatties. All right. So we got a person talking to us right now, which is nice. Jen, I went to high school with Jen. How are you doing, Jen? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. This is kind of like our pilot. I wouldn't even necessarily call it a pilot series because we just totally threw this together, but it's more like a test run, like a test drive. We are going to do this for an hour, and we're going to just talk about random things, but the overall show will be more structured by next Friday, and we're going to have guests and stuff like that, because today's just going to be us like explaining stuff and just talking about things. Let's see, what should we be talking about here? If you have any suggestions, please type them in the room.
So I'm not just sitting here talking about tofu and stuff like that.
Mike Amdahl, what's up, dude? I have not seen you since we were little kids, dude. Welcome to the show, which name is like slipping me right now. Oh, Spit the Wit. That's right. Okay. uh, this is so new that we don't even know what the hell's going on. We were just like literally doing this on the fly. This is our studio, mine and Howard Rolling. It is called Rolling Hills Productions. There is the logo right there, and this is our studio. Which this is just our sound booth, our sound room, and edit suite. We have various other film out there, so we have a really big thing and just all this stuff that you need to film. So anyway, let's see. We were going to talk about something basic like the weather, but only briefly because I mean the weather is like the lamest topic ever. So, but I mean, could it get any more freezing in Vegas? For those of you that are not in Vegas and think that it's all palm trees and 75 degrees all the time, it has been like seriously like 34 degrees here.
Yeah, it is so much like Tahoe.
Right.
The sky has been really clear and blue, and it is just icy cold out. It's weird. Sometimes you feel like you're in Reno.
Right. I mean, and the thing about it is, if you're sitting in your car and you got the heater on and everything, it looks like it's hot outside, but once you step out, you're just freezing. So, okay, so that's the weather, and we're just going to move on from that. We were going to talk about feminism because
oh boy,
this started I'm sure that all you guys are in like watching the TV and up to date on current events and saw all the marches and everything like that. But we were just talking about feminism in general, not necessarily the marches. So my wife here, as you can tell, is a female, and
I hope you can tell.
and she is not necessarily a feminist. It's not like she's against feminism, but she posted something like just so basic. And go ahead and tell them the story. What happened?
Well, I posted that I didn't understand why women were marching because I could not find anywhere where our rights were being threatened. Actually threatened. It seemed like this was a protest just to Donald Trump. And let me tell you, I am actually all for feminism when it is doing something productive. And as a woman, I have had to deal with sexual harassment, assault, everything like that. I had a sexual harassment case in 2006 that I was forced to settle for $3,000 out of court because I was told that because I had worked as an adult entertainer years ago, that made what my employer did okay because the jury would not have found my suffering to be very bad at all because I was used to being sexually harassed. And I'm not kidding, this is a true story. When, you not to get like too heavy into the topics like right away, but when, you get raped, you don't want to prosecute because you're going to sit there in court and they're going to be asking you what you're wearing or what were you wearing and how, were you drunk or were you intoxicated? And they make you feel like the criminal. And I don't see this feminist movement that trashed a bunch of cities, okay, and was disgusting and vulgar on television in front of people's families. I don't see what they were doing that was productive to actually change the situations that I have found myself in as a woman. I don't see any of that. I just see a lot of complaining.
If I may interject as a male, and I have to ask because I'm a white male, if I just go speaking my mind whenever I want, I'm instantly persecuted.
You can't do that.
So if I may interject, what I was going to say is that it seems to me that more people are just basically chanting, like just to be chanting.
Well,
and
yeah.
it's not a productive protest for the most part. I mean, it's almost like whenever everybody's wearing pink bats, pink bows and stuff like that for breast cancer awareness. It's like I never understood that. It's like I understand that we need to raise money to find a cure and everything.
But I think everybody's aware.
Everybody's aware of cancer, and I'm sure that everybody's aware that women are people too. And I just don't understand as a male. I just don't understand what all of that was about. To me, it just seemed like a big male bash, and just unnecessary. And I'm a male, so again, I'm not. My opinion doesn't matter. So,
well, and I've had the other thing that bothers me about the feminist movement is I have had so many women turn on me for doing nude modeling and lingerie work, and like I said, being an adult entertainer. all of this support that's supposedly there isn't there.
It's not there, and I can speak as an outsider again, as an outside observer, being a male and everything. I watch her go through a lot of stuff, and she gets bashed because she's thinned, shamed all the time and shit. Like people instantly like trash talk her because of the way that she looks, and so I don't understand where the support and the feminism is there.
Yeah, my lips, my breasts. I'm
Yeah,
too
everything.
thin. Let's see what else. Like a gender traitor. I've been called a gender traitor.
Right.
Um, a cunt. I've had women actually call me, you
The
know,
C word.
a c word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are allowed to cuss on here, but I want
Okay.
to try to keep it a little bit clean. So, but yeah, if you're quoting somebody, I guess that's okay. So,
Yeah, I'm not actually using the word.
and
but
another
that
thing that I
is-
wanted to mention is because I didn't want to go too much off on that the thing that happened a couple of days ago or a week ago, however long it was. I wanted to just talk about like feminism as a whole, and not just specifically what happened that day. I think that feminism is a great thing, and I think that women should, be trying to get equal everything. I personally don't know where it's not equal, but I'm saying that's just me, and I guess that's where I need awareness or whatever. But I think that all movements are important, but here's the problem. I think that whenever movements become part of the masses, like the extreme masses, no matter what the movement is, it turns to shit. And the other thing that I'm going to say is that it's like that with anything pretty much. It's like rap. When rap first started, it was great. And then when it became mainstream, it was still pretty okay, but it started getting crappier. And then over the years, it has just turned to absolute hell. And it's because whenever everybody jumps on board with something,
Yeah.
now you've got all these hands in the pot, and it just turns into this madness. And I think that's what's happening with feminism right now. And
happened
that's
to veganism too.
and vegans did that too. And it's really sad because a lot of movements start off really cool with a great idea, and then end up just going to shit because too many people get involved. And now you've got all these opinions, and then people are shaming. It's like
And then it goes against what it was originally for to begin with.
right. Exactly. And next thing you know, it's just a big yelling match. So I don't know if you guys had any comments on that. Let's see. Because she is a hottie, Mike Amdahl said. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's see. And then Amanda Lawton said earlier when we were talking about how it was cold, she said it's a nice and warm 27 out here in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Sorry, I do have my glasses on, but as you can see, like this bar right here is kind of like going straight across my computer screen. As I said, we just kind of threw everything together and are trying to do the best that we can.
Yeah, I haven't been able to put my contacts in because it's been really dry and I've had allergies and all of that.
Yeah.
So I have to put my glasses on to see. I literally.
As a matter of
can't.
fact, why don't you do that so that you can watch the room while I
This is
do
interesting.
other things.
I don't know how this.
Yeah. John Arjamon. Wow, a lot of people from my past are in the room, and that's very cool because we're actually going to touch on that on a different day about like people that are your supposed friends, and then it turns out that nobody like really supports you.
Yeah.
And like since I've moved to Vegas, I've lost touch with everybody that I went to school with and everybody that I used to hang out with, and I thought that I had a bunch of friends here in Vegas, and I do to a degree, but yeah. So I don't want to get into that today. That's a topic for a different day. So let's see, what else do we got going on here? The country and the divide issue, the divide of people, whether it be from race and gender and all that stuff. The divide thing that's happening here right now
It's horrible.
I don't know if anybody like really realizes what's going on here. And trust me, this isn't going to be a completely political show. These are just things that we really wanted to talk about because they're very current, and we think that they need to be addressed. So the main thing is like the divide, okay, between races and stuff like that. Here's the thing: if you're sitting there on your Facebook, okay, and you're watching feeds or you're watching YouTube, it appears on the that out in the actual world, everywhere you go, people are just like screaming profanities and hatred and racist things to you, no matter what color you are. It just seems like everybody's just out there in this free-for-all hell house or madhouse. And what I don't understand is every time I've been anywhere, I don't see any of that. Like, we go to the store and everybody's opened the door for everybody and everybody's cordial to everybody. And so, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of you that are watching are, well, not that there's a lot of people watching, but a lot of you that are watching probably know that that there is a lot of divide happening in the media, and that it's the media that's to blame. And I agree. I think that we have a really, really bad situation here happening with media.
And that leads me into saying that media basically exists, and the reason it's pushed so much on people is because it is intending to sell something. In every case, media is to sell you on something, whether it's an idea, an agenda, a product, whatever it is, media is selling you. And we live in a country that is still mostly capitalist. And there was a news reporter last night that said, like, one of the most profound things I've heard in a while. And they said that the problem with capitalism is that you're valuing profit over human life. And that is what we have going on in this country, big time. With the media and the divide, they do not care about the individual person. Okay, they don't care if people start shooting each other in the streets. It's what they're trying to do because they're trying to get something sold. They're trying to get their agenda.
Right.
And it's horrible.
Yeah. And we completely agree, her and I anyway, that we don't really have that much of a race issue in this country as much as we do a media issue.
Media issue. And
we wrote a song about it. Like to hear it go. No, I'm just kidding. We are going to play that song a little later on, but yeah, we wrote a song about it, and we basically were trying to get people to come back together because, I mean, we were going somewhere. We really were. In the 80s and 90s, I think that things were improving vastly and becoming pretty equal, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, for no reason, we're like back in the freaking 50s and 60s. I just don't get it. Well, I do get it, but I don't like it. I get what's happening, and that is that we're being brainwashed by what we're watching on TV and stuff. Kelly Saya, who I've known for a while too, she posted the 7 things you need to know, or what does it say, babe? Because I can't read it right now.
Let me put my glasses on.
Please do.
Okay.
It's like
7
this small to me.
things to know if you think women are equal to men.
Okay. I don't know if that's pro-male or pro-female or pro-just human. So we'll check that out, Kelly. Thanks for posting that. Appreciate it, because I'm open to all sides, actually, when it comes to everything. And I don't mean that I'm just so neutral that I don't pick any sides and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I do have my, certain beliefs, but I don't always display them on our programs. So let's go to, where are we going to? We were going to talk about Trump. If you guys want to talk about Trump, we will talk about Trump. I prefer not really to talk about Trump because, I mean, it's just every time you open up Facebook or anything,
heated.
It's just Trump. Everything's just, I mean, I will say this, good or bad, he's definitely the most famous president there ever was. I've never heard a president's name mentioned so many times.
Yeah.
And, I mean, geez. Ridiculous, right?
It's nuts. I don't think anybody's ever been so afraid to say which, party they supported one way or the other. Like.
Right. I lost friends on Facebook because of it, actually.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I lost friends on Facebook just because I didn't vote for anybody. I'm
I know we didn't even go out and vote. That's the funny thing.
And it was just because we were pondering one thing, and we weren't allowed to do that in accordance to other people. So, but yeah, let's see. What else do we got going on here? We were going to do a segment halfway into our show. Actually, it was going to be towards the end of our show, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm so discombobulated. I'm sorry. Called 15 Minutes, where we're going to have somebody come in the hot seat, and 15 minutes, everybody knows the old cliche saying of 15 minutes of fame. We were just going to pick anybody random, like off the street. We're right here on Trop and Pecos, and just kind of pull somebody in, or like random people that we know or whatever, and just basically interview them for 15 minutes. So if you want to be on the show, please email me or email Jess. And please do like our page too. It's called what is it called?
Spit the Wit.
Spit the Wit. It's so funny. I just made the logo for it today, and I spent all day
like
looking at
it,
and I'm drawing a complete and total blank. Let's see. So if you have any suggestions about what you might want to talk about, go ahead and shoot them at us. Otherwise, more or less, we are just doing a broadcast just to be tested.
Yeah, like a test run kind of
So
thing.
hopefully, some of what we said is appealing to you, and if not, I'm sorry, and we'll work on it. So just very raw here, raw data and stuff. Let's do this. Let's take a little couple-minute break where we're going to play that song that I mentioned earlier, and it is called Auto Genocide by Icy Tens. It's for sale, and it's on Spotify, and it's everywhere. So so if you want to pick that up, that'd be awesome. Here we go. Everything's the same.
Everything's the same.
Every day is pain.
Every day is pain.
And everyone's insane.
And everyone's the same.
So nothing's gonna change.
So nothing's gonna change.
Will never change.
Never change.
You will never understand. The wickedness of man. And you may not give a damn, but you see, it's all part of the plan. Yeah, their master plan. They want us to divide. It's auto genocide. And yes, we gotta fight. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. It's always black and white. And who is wrong or right? Yeah. That's Jessy Meadows singing in the background, by the way. And they don't want us to unite. No. They're programming us to fight. It's auto-genocide. They want us to divide. It's auto-genocide. And yes, we've gotta fight to stay alive. Everything's the same. Every day's pain. Everyone's insane. Nothing's gonna change. It's always black and white. And who is wrong or right? They don't want us to unite. It's auto-genocide. Don't buy the hate. Don't take the bait. Don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't buy the hate. Don't take the bait. Don't be deceived by what they believe. Don't buy the hate. Don't take the bait. Don't be deceived they believe. Don't buy the hate. Don't take the bait. Right, and then it just basically does that until the end. So that was the song Icy Tens Auto Genocide by Icy Tens, which is a group comprised of me, my wife, and my friend Howie, who's a guitar player and is at work right now, and is also doing a broadcast from this studio. I also wanted to invite those of you that might want to broadcast. There is a way that you can broadcast from your own show with this sound quality in this studio. So if you are interested in doing something like that, you need to email me at Frankie Almost. Right here on Facebook, message me, or you can actually email me at Frankie_almost@yahoo.com if you would like to do a broadcast from the studio. We have 4 mics, 5 mics, something like that, and we have 4 or 5 sets of headphones, and we have chairs everywhere. And this room is a lot bigger than it looks on camera. It's actually like, I don't know, what is it? What would you say, 15 by
Yeah.
12 or something like that? So, yeah, let us know.
I have an idea for a topic since we talk about trending stuff that's kind of like, I guess, somewhat controversial.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, what about the Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
I don't know why
I
I
would
keep
say
calling it the
Mandela.
Mandela, but it's spelled Mandela, like Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the name was derived because of something that had to do with Mandela, but
I don't. No. It was.
Dude.
It's.
listen to me right now, people. I am telling you right now. Those of you that have like some kind of intellect and like to know about things, if you have not Googled the Mandela effect, you need to do so. Some people call it just false memory or whatever because your memory sucks or whatever. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna blow your freaking mind right now. You can go look up this scene in the movie E.T. Everybody knows E.T. the classic, right? E.T. phone home. Well, listen to me right now. This is gonna screw your brain so bad. E.T. does not actually say E.T. phone home. He says E.T. home phone. And if you go watch that scene on YouTube right now, I don't care what your source is, where you get it from, slide in the DVD. Remember when he had the planets in the room and they were spinning around because he was trying to communicate to the kids that he was from a different world? And then he ended up pointing out the window when Elliot was standing right by him, and he says, E.T. phone home. That's my E.T. impression, sorry. He actually says home phone, not phone home. It's the most bizarre shit you have ever seen. And there are thousands and thousands of things out there. It's called the Mandela effect. There's certain ones out there that that I don't agree with. And I guess basically what people are saying is that you're in a parallel universe. So things have changed and shifted only for some people, and some people are kind of in between both.
So both people are right because they're each remembering a different reality.
Which is completely weird because it would stipulate that people in an argument can both be right. It's just different points of view and different, timelines or something to that effect. It's really bizarre shit. You need to go check it out.
And once you notice it, it just starts.
Do you remember any of the other ones? Like there are some severe ones.
A lot of them happened, or they're from things when I was growing up. Interview with a vampire, which I remember looking at as a kid, looking at the movie poster, and now it's interview with the vampire.
Right.
It's not a.
Right.
There's
interview with the vampire, not a vampire.
Yeah.
Which that one I'll say this about, even though it is kind of creepy, because the and when you say it in a sentence, they kind of blend together. So it's possible that we all got it wrong, because when you say it's interview with the vampire, interview with the vampire, with a vampire, that one's kind of not really along the same lines as E.T. fucking phone home. No, I'm sorry, we are going to cuss on the show, but very rarely. E.T. phone home. I mean, that is a thing that everybody knows.
Yep.
And it's not. It's home phone. E.T. home phone.
Bernstein Bears and Berenstein Bears is another one. Or is it Berenstain and Berenstein?
Megan Du Bois just said that. That the Berenstein Bears, from when we were kids. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
You're going to have to read those for me, okay? Because I can't. So every once in a while you got to pop on your glasses and read the room because I can't see it. My magnification and the location of my mic stand is going right over the chat, so I apologize.
Yeah, I like the Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, it's crazy. And there were some other ones too. There was a bunch. There's like 4 or 5 really
Depends.
Depends. Hey, when old people are starting to lose their bladder control and all that stuff, don't they put on a pair of Depends? Well, not according to anything ever recorded anywhere. If you Google Depends,
it's Depend.
It's Depend with a D. I'm going to put on my Depend. What?
And I've looked, again, as a kid, I picked those up thinking that they were maxi pads. I was like probably 12. And it said Depends.
It's like, you didn't wear your Depends today, Grandpa, And and they're trying to tell me that you didn't wear your Depend today, Grandpa.
Okay, I have a dirty joke.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Go ahead.
But this is one of the ways that I knew, with the Mandela effect. What does an old lady taste like? Depends.
Oh God, that is gross. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a Mandela effect that happened to us. Okay, and please tell us and share if this same thing happened to you and what realm you might possibly be in accordance and in adjacent to us. Okay, so her and I and our friend Howie, who's our guitar player in our group, we were taking him to work. We were sitting at a stoplight. This was probably about 3 or 4 months ago. It wasn't too soon. It was a while ago. And on the radio came that Charles Manson died.
Yep.
And it was announced on the radio, and we all looked at each other and went, wow, okay, cool, Charles Manson died. Good riddance, peace out, bye. And so on the same day, the exact same day, I was coming home from the hospital with my mom, and my mom started talking about Charles Manson being in the hospital. And I thought that she was in a lucid state and was getting facts wrong, so I didn't propose any kind of rebuttal, and I just kept driving and was like, oh yeah, and just kind of like humoring her and saying, okay. And so I got home and I Googled it, and Manson's alive. And I grabbed her and I said, hey, Jess, remember the 4 months ago when we said, when we all were sitting in the car and it said that Manson had passed away? And her eyes got this big around because she found out on the same day that he's alive. And her and I and our friend Howie were in some kind of time continuum thing in our car, and where Manson died. And apparently for the rest of you, he's still alive.
And nobody has brought this up. I haven't seen anybody say anything about Manson having died. And this was back in the summer. We were on our way to Rainbow's End Cafe. And I actually started talking about how Charles Manson never got to see his plans for Helter Skelter fulfilled, because he had this whole plan about how, black and...
Before you finish, I want to say that she's not saying that as if it's a bad thing. She's not a Manson supporter by any means.
No.
Okay, she was just saying, he never got to see his dream come to fruition.
Yeah, because he, back in the 60s and 70s, was saying that there was going to be a race war, and that black people were going to win, but they needed a white leader, and that's what Charles Manson thought he was. The guy was insane. He thought that he was going to be the prophet to lead the black people. And I was commenting to Frankie that we have so much racial divide in this country, and Charles Manson had now died before he got to see this race war happen.
Again, not that she thinks a big race war is coming, but it's that's what they're trying to do as far as we're concerned, and it's not working. It's not
going to work.
It's not working. All my friends that are black and all my friends that are every other race are still my friends, and I at least not that I know of, do they look at me and go, that freaking cracker,
no.
I wish he was dead or whatever. So I don't think it's working, but it might be working on the masses, and that's why we wrote that song, is because we're trying to get people, to kind of shake people up and get people, hey, wake up, man, this ain't real, and it's not. There's hardly any racism. I'm not saying that there's not. Everybody experiences racism. Trust me, as a white male, I experience racism. But it's so far and few between, and usually from some loose cannon, that I don't even consider it a race thing. It's just some crazy guy talking shit. So anyway, but yeah, so in our realm, Charles Manson died back in July or something like that. And for all the rest of everybody, apparently, he's still alive.
So when I was scrolling through my newsfeed on Facebook, and it was one of the pages that I follow posted, Charles Manson in critical condition in the hospital. And I thought it was a joke. I thought it was either a joke or
imagine
a mispost.
Right. I didn't mean to cut you off, but put yourself in that position. Let's say that you truly 100% believe, and you have other friends to verify that somebody that you know from your life history has died, and now you're hearing about them in the hospital. It's a complete freak out. It's like, what if right now you turned on the TV and everybody was saying, hey, Ronald Reagan is really sick in the hospital right now. You'd be like, no, he's really sick in the ground, as sick as you can get.
Yeah.
So anyway, hi Danielle, Danny Perkins, how are you doing?
Hello.
So we were talking about the Mandela effect, Danny, I don't know if you know or are hip to that. So we're encouraging people to Google the Mandela effect because there's a lot of it going on, and I mean some of it is just so bizarre. One of them that is out there that I'm going to debunk, at least from my universe, is because I'm older. I do remember the old Oscar Mayer commercial. My baloney has a first name. It's Osear. Okay, so apparently some people are out there believing that Meyer is spelled Mayar, but it's always been E.
Yeah.
And in my clear, vivid memory of the 80s and stuff, it's Oscar. My baloney has a second name. It's Mayer. So, but that one's floating around out there, and
Well, the interesting thing about it is, I think if you read through each person that reads through the list of the Mandela effects, they're going to have some that ring true, that they absolutely know have changed, and then there's going to be some that they're like, oh, okay, well, this is still the same. And it's not that anybody is wrong. It's
Right.
just that your reality had this way, and the reality that you're in now has
right. So for those of you that are not deep ponderers or deep thinkers, what basically what the scenario that's happening here is because there are people that believe in science is proving that there's a multiverse. So, and we're in interweaving out of all the multiverses, and basically there's parallel universes happening simultaneously with what's happening to us right now. And during those simultaneous universes, you can skip and jump from one to the other. So it's not that anybody's really wrong. It's just that for things are crossing. You know, all the lines are crossing. So it's kind of a weird thing to think about when you really sit there. And if you're the type of person that has trouble sleeping, you probably shouldn't think about it, because
Yeah.
I've laid awake
Chronic
many
insomniacs.
nights just going, what the hell? And I've also convinced myself that not every time that I go to sleep, but a lot of times that I go to sleep, I wake up and it's a different
different
dimension. So
And I think when you dream, you're actually going somewhere, but that's a different
I don't know if we're really saying anything that's profound, or if we're saying things that, like, all the people that are watching us live are now going to have us committed.
like, okay.
And you're like, okay, this show is a little too deep and stupid for me. Oh, and by the way, this show isn't going to be all about stuff like that. It is going to be stuff like that, but this isn't like coast to coast, you know.
Yeah, we've got our own coast to coast Studio 3.
And everything happens to you because of aliens.
But
and
I do have,
ghosts.
okay, I
Okay,
do.
go ahead.
Okay. The History Channel, okay? So this is an ongoing running joke with me, because my mother-in-law lays in bed, watches the History Channel, and I'm not kidding. Every time that I'm like, oh, it's the History Channel, something is happening because of aliens. So I'm like, how is this the History Channel? Because you're thinking like you're going to get something on the Civil War, or like, you know, something that's history on the History Channel. And what was the one that you found today? Okay, the dinosaurs.
This is the greatest.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dinosaurs actually aren't extinct. They are the reptilians. The reptilians have evolved. They're dinosaurs, and they left the planet because this whole cataclysmic event happened, and so they bounced up out of here, and they're now coming back just to check stuff out. So that's your political leaders and all that stuff. They're dinosaurs. So there you go.
Yeah. So apparently 65 million years ago, when the comet was headed towards the planet and all the dinosaurs were here. That's the thing about that story too. I don't know, where they were all like, the T-Rex had arms like this, kind of like me
Right.
with my messed up shoulder right now. Right? They built spaceships
And they
before
built
this?
spaceships. Yeah, and they
or are they just wrong and they evolved up into that point enough to get off the planet, and the comet did come, but they beat it by leaving. I don't know. And supposedly all the reptilians that are like in the White House and all this crap that are
sports
like
stars, politicians, actors. They're
beaming themselves down from space, they're actually old regenerated
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs that have evolved. And the birds are also dinosaurs, and they stayed here.
Because they could fly away from the comet.
I don't know. I don't know. I like the Mandela effect thing a lot better. The History Channel is hilarious, though, and what's funny is that they're teaching. This is one thing that I wanted to mention, though. They're teaching this on the History Channel as if it's history, correct?
Yes.
So here's what I think that might possibly be happening. Because I know that a lot of people out there believe in aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. Well, UFO, of course you believe in UFO no matter where you are, because UFO stands for unidentified flying object.
Yeah, I mean, of
So
course.
anything like, oh, what was that? It was a UFO. Okay. So, but flying saucers from another planet now. I know that there are people that actually believe that, and I know there are people that actually believe in aliens. And so what was the point that I was trying to get at? I lost my train of thought completely, like an idiot. Yeah. Hi.
You were saying the History Channel, something about.
Oh, they're teaching it as if it's history, okay? And I think what they might be doing is conditioning us to be okay with that, because they might eventually break the news
say that
something actually has been going on. Like it's been what 60 something years since Roswell, and so I think that like during the times when they were talking about it was weather balloons and all this kind of stuff, that they were trying to divert people the other way, but too many people band together and started going the other way, where it's like, no, it's aliens and you guys are full of shit.
Yeah.
And so they had no choice but to start conditioning us by putting, extensive amounts of aliens in movies and commercials and stuff like that, and then just basically having it on the History Channel that everything, Jesus was an alien. I don't know if you knew that, according to the History Channel.
Yeah, according to the History Channel, everything is aliens. Everything is because of aliens.
Right.
Written by aliens, done
Right.
by aliens, and it's hilarious to me.
And me too. I mean, it's just, I do believe in extraterrestrials. I think, there's more stars in the sky or in the universe than there are grains of sand on every beach in the world. And for us to be the only ones is just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. We're not going to talk about the other situation that you might want to talk about. We'll do that on a different day.
No, we're not trying to be totally coast to coast right now. We're
Right.
I just had to bring up the History Channel thing because my friends on Facebook notice that I'm always posting, oh, aliens, History Channel. So I was like, I can't not say the reptilian one.
And I think that to clarify, that people are going to be like, well, what's your show about? And it's basically like whatever the hell we want. Like, you remember how the old show Seinfeld was? It's a show about nothing.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
It's the same thing here. We're just going to talk about what we feel like talking about. So some days it's going to be controversial, and some days it's not. So.
Well, especially for this show, because we're kind of talking to you like we talk to each other normally. We sit in the car, we sit in our room, and we have all these conversations, and we're like, we should be broadcasting this. This is what we should be saying.
Right. Absolutely.
And we'll find out tonight if people like it or not.
Tyler, I'm sorry. We ran over you. He said, keep up the great work, you two, and I appreciate you saying that. There's not that much of a delay. You said that a while ago, but I was trying to work that into our conversation, which it kind of wasn't meshing. So we appreciate you watching, Tyler. Thank you. You've always been a good supporter, and I hope that everything goes well with you. Tyler is a local wrestler here in Las Vegas, and I hope that
Hi, Tyler.
And I hope that he continues to do that and doesn't get discouraged by, all the crap that happens to all of us that are struggling and trying to do things, and that is haters keeping us down.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we are probably going to wrap up the show now because I think we've exhausted all of our mental knowledge for right now.
And I need to get some heat on your shoulder.
You do. I pulled my shoulder while setting up the show, so I did a lot for you guys, man. So hit that like button.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. So subscribe to our channel and our YouTube channel, which is IC10s, ICYTINS. That's on YouTube, and that's where we put a lot of our crappy music. And
it's actually really good. But
and a lot of it's okay. Production's really good, but where we were going with our genre is we wanted it to be like our show. We don't want it to have a genre, so we've done some rap, we've done some R&B.
We just do whatever we feel like.
Dubsteppy kind of shit. So anyway, check out our channel at IC10s, ICYTINS on YouTube, and please like our show, which is called Hit the Wit. Did I get it?
Nope.
God damn it.
Spit the wit.
Spit the wit, like spitting. Okay, yeah. Spitting knowledge.
Like,
all right.
Yeah.
Spit the wit, and that is here on Facebook. Please like that page so I'm not broadcasting on my page and pissing off everybody that I'm friends with. Because we're going to eventually, if we get 1,000 followers on our other page, we're going to broadcast from there and leave, not pester everybody else. Anything you want to add?
Not At the moment, just if you guys have any suggestions, we will talk about whatever you want to talk about too. We're open to a lot of stuff.
Exactly. So, thank you for watching, and we will be broadcasting. Oh, by the way, for those of you that saw that we were broadcasting at 5, we actually changed it to 6 because of time issues that we have with scheduling and stuff like that. So we're going to be 6 o'clock here every Friday.
Every Friday.
Come join us. We're going to be doing it until we're dead. Thank
That's
you for
right.
watching.